Real Madrid 3, Chelsea 1. As a fan, it was so frustrating watching this game. I don't want to say the wheels are coming off the vehicle just yet because there were chances in this game where Chelsea did look really, really good, but obviously we had some massive issues through our midfield, through our defense. Mendy having that massive blunder where Karim Benzema had his hat trick. Let's just roll the intros. For those that don't know who I am, my name is Mike, huge fan of Chelsea, huge fan of this sport. Now, like I said, we're talking about Chelsea versus Real Madrid in this match review because this is one of those games that, looking back at, Chelsea should have done so much better in this game. Now, I want to talk about a few key points that I think are going to be the reason why Chelsea struggled, but also want to talk about why Chelsea still have a chance to advance on in the Champions League. Now, first, let's talk about the issues. First things off, we need to talk about Thomas Tuchel and his choices, his decisions on who he picked in this game and even substitutions, because I'm not too sure why Kovacic did not start this game. He obviously played for Real Madrid, so he knows their system. He knows some of these players, how they play. When he's fit, he's almost one of our best midfielders. Yes, Jorginho is a really good midfielder as well, but Kovacic should be starting along with Conte, even though Conte had a very poor game, which you don't say that too often, but in the match against Real Madrid, he just couldn't get things going. Pretty much players were playing around him, and it's just one of those things that our midfield was lacking in this match. And even though we made substitutions, Ruben Loftus-Cheek came on, and I don't even know what to say about him. Just him playing yesterday was frustrating. I wanted to punch a hole through the wall because he just kept slipping, making poor decisions, kept losing possession, and therefore, again, our midfield was just lacking all around, which, as we know for Chelsea, that is one of our main strengths, is our midfield. And the fact that we were struggling in that position just showed how much we were really missing controlling the ball and, again, dominating this game. Yes, we had more possession in this game, but really, that didn't matter for the most part because Real Madrid had better chances and they obviously capitalized on those. Yes, Chelsea had some good chances too, and we didn't score, but that just being said, we need to talk about, though, is our finishing and what is going on. Yes, I know this has been just a reoccurring issue throughout this entire season. The only player right now that I do trust scoring is Kai Havertz. He scored again in another Champions League knockout game. This guy keeps finding the back of net, and hopefully moving forward for this club, they start realizing how important Kai Havertz is for this club and possibly start building around this player. Now, that might be bold of me to say as of right now with him being so young and maybe with some of the other players we have at this club, but I think Kai Havertz might be one of the future players for this club. Now, obviously, Mason Mount, Reece James, those guys are going to be there as well, but really, you can't build a team around Reece James. You could maybe build around Mason Mount, but Kai Havertz, being the goal-scoring machine that he has been as of lately, is the guy you maybe want to work around, getting maybe some better wingers to work with him that play in better balls, more creative, or having another forward with him, because as we've seen, when Lukaku does come on, he does offer more opportunities for Kai Havertz, and obviously he does create some chances for himself. But Romelu Lukaku just cannot find the back of that. I don't know what has happened to this player. He was at such an elite level last season, and then with everything that happened at this club, with the interview and everything along those lines, his stock has just plummeted. I mean, absolutely plummeted. He's down there with pretty much Timo Werner, but Timo Werner at least puts in a good shift. He puts in almost 100% each and every game. Where Romelu Lukaku pretty much just kind of walks around, jogs a little bit, doesn't really put too much effort into, which is very, very frustrating to say the least. Now, the last thing I want to just harp on, and just the last thing I really want to talk about, because I want this whole video to be negative on Chelsea, is our defense, and that is Christensen. Christensen, we know he's leaving. He's going to Barcelona. This is already known. And it showed yesterday in the match that he pretty much does not care. And if we get knocked out of the Champions League, I don't want to put 100% fault on him because obviously the whole team plays as a unit. But Christensen, I don't think should be starting our next match, and even not even starting in the Premier League for the most part, because it seems like his headspace is just completely gone. He's checked out. He's just worried about Barcelona, and I don't think he really cares about Chelsea as much as we would hope he would care for the end of the season. And because of that, he is going to be an issue for our back line. And as we saw, he just was not able to step up to the match yesterday and just again, he looked very, how do I want to say this? He almost looked like an amateur out there yesterday. He looked like he has not been playing at an elite level for such a long time that it was his first match, first big match. And again, he really struggled for the most part. And because of that, like I said, he should not start. Now, that is all I want to harp on with the negativity for this. Now, let's talk about some of the positives about what happened in this game, or the silver linings. Now, first off, yes, Real Madrid did score 3 goals, but luckily, the away goals have been washed away and every goal is equal. So really, Chelsea only need to score 2 more goals than Real Madrid in their next match at the Bernabeu, which I think is very capable of Chelsea doing. Yes, I know, like I said, we've been struggling with scoring goals, but I think because our backs are against the wall, this is when Chelsea plays really, really well. I think we can come out, and if we can score an early goal and really put the pressure on Real Madrid, this will be massive. Along with that, Real Madrid will be missing a few key players due to the yellow cards, and I think that may have a big impact for their whole team and how they would do their formations. Now, that being said, too, if Kai Havertz can keep rolling the way he has been, that is also going to be a huge impact for this game because he keeps scoring goals. And again, like I mentioned, we should be building a team around him. And like I said, in our midfield, we need to step up, and I think Kovacic needs to start. Now, on top of that, like I said, the other big takeaway is that we did have a lot of chances. We had more possession. We just had a few slip-ups. And yes, Real Madrid did capitalize on those. So if we can tighten all those areas up, Real Madrid really shouldn't be able to put too much damage onto us. Yes, Karim Benzema is one of the best strikers in the world right now. I'm not sure if he's the best. You could argue Robert Lewandowski's up there as well, but he is one of the elite strikers as of right now, and we need to make sure that we are marking him, watching where he's going, because not only is he really good with obviously his head and his feet, but just his capability of thinking where the ball needs to go and what he needs to do with the ball is just on another level. After you watch that game, he was doing a back heel, just making spaces and making runs that, again, players just don't sometimes see that, and he's able to see 3 or 4 steps ahead of everyone else, which, again, if we can shut him down, that will be massive for Chelsea. And we've already seen what our defense can do when it's playing right, that we've been able to shut down Manchester City. We've been able to shut down Liverpool, 2 of the best teams in the world as well, and I think we can do that against Real Madrid. It's just that Thomas Tuchel needs to get the right guys, get the right headspace with some of our players, and like I said, this comes down to our midfield as well, because if we can dominate the midfield with Kovacic, with Conte, or Jorginho, or maybe all 3 of them in there for our next game, that will take pressure off our defense, which again will allow our defense to be a little bit more attacking mindset, which again will put more pressure on Real Madrid, where they'll have to sit back and only counter us, which, yes, maybe they can score off a counter, but if we keep pressuring them and having more chances, sooner or later we will find the back net. Courtois, yes, being goalkeeper, he will eventually slip up or not save everything. And again, if Chelsea can get the momentum going right away in the first couple of minutes, maybe the first 10, 15 minutes, we can really dictate that game and move on to the next stage of the Champions League. Yes, I know it is a massive uphill battle for Chelsea right now, but I don't want to say we're out just yet. But yes, it will be very difficult. So that's all I have for you today in this video. I want you to comment down below, though, what you think about Chelsea, what they should do different, what could happen in their next match against Real Madrid. And also, if you did like this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe down below. I greatly appreciate that. And if you did enjoy this video, check out my other videos as well. I think you'll enjoy them. And I will see you next time.